through it.
A lot of it could be, feigning as well. Like, Sheth scouts the third expansion. He goes into macro mode. He's not making as many units. Then the timing push catches him off guard that much more. Who knows how in-depth WhiteRa goes with it, but I certainly think that it could be
Sheth in
a
serious
little bit
mode.
of subterfuge on WhiteRa's part.
Yeah. And
no smiley faces.
No smiley face. Sheth was in serious mode there. But here at the top right-hand corner of Crevasse, we have WhiteRa spawning as our red Protoss player hailing from TT Esports. His opponent down in the bottom left-hand corner from Team Liquid. That is Sheth. He's our purple Zerg player. Both these players well-loved and beloved. And it's always fun to hang out with these guys. Seriously, like, this is there are a few players that I just have a genuinely more fun time hanging out with. So
yeah, I would agree. They're both really cool guys.
Yeah.
I would definitely toss a few other players in the mix as well, but for sure,
Destiny always makes a fun time. Like when Destiny's around, you always know you're going to have a good time. So sometimes it ends up just being mass troll sessions.
Yeah.
Like when we trolled all of MLG. So yeah.
Destiny's a pretty funny guy.
Yes.
He certainly is.
Yes, he is. So, and has been doing very well on State of the Game the past couple of weeks. Have to say, he's been a fun host.
Oh, is he one of the new pillars?
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's been on the show the past 2 weeks. Now, of course, last week JP was out sick. He was still monitoring the show, but In Control kind of had the JP duties, and but Destiny was around as well. Quite funny.
Has In Control still been participating in State of the Game every week?
Yeah, he's every week.
Wow, so he's got schedule booked.
Yeah, really does,
a
actually.
lot of shows, yeah, certainly.
Sheth not actually going hatchery first, deciding to put up spawning pool and then hatchery after that, so going back to what we saw in game number 1, that general setup that I was looking for on Antigua Shipyard, which was the 3-base roachling push. WhiteRa, on the other hand, has not... Well, no, he has shown his hand, actually. No gas. He is going to go after a quick expansion, it looks like. Well, just as I say that, makes me look bad throwing down the assimilator, but he... never mind. Looks like he's just going to send his next probe up. Actually, double.
Hell?
Are we still down DTs?
As you are.
Okay,
I don't know what's
I thought for
going on.
sure when he was up to almost 300 minerals that it was going to be an expansion.
Yeah,
and then,
absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Yep, there's nothing up there. Random person who's pinging the map.
Maybe that's where he's going to proxy his DTs.
That's possible. I mean, if double gas before cybernetics core and my DT like radar just goes off, but we'll see if that's what ends up happening. It's going to be a while. He's got cybernetics core, then he's got Twilight Council, and then he has to put up the Dark Shrine after that, which takes 100 seconds.
Yeah.
So
well, if we see a Twilight, we can be pretty confident. Oh, he's actually not going to expand at all.
Okay. One
Weird.
base. But this Overlord, slow as it is, we'll be able to get up here and see that there's something fishy with no expansion.
Yeah, that's very true. He's definitely going to expect something's up.
Yeah.
He has to drop a Nexus. I think he will drop a Nexus. He's floating.
Okay, there. He's up to 400.
right now. There we go.
There's nothing to spend it on. I mean, it's not like it's going to be a zealot at this point. And there is the Nexus, so the Overlord won't see anything too out of the ordinary, but he still has a ton of gas. I mean, it's either going to be DTs or DT drops, or he's going to mass Stargate right now, or something. There's Twilight Council, so it's got to be DTs.
All right, so it's going to be very, very quick DTs, and I would be inclined to agree with you. The second gas that early screamed the same thing to me as well. That or some kind of super early Stargate build, but
right,
we haven't
exactly.
seen those recently, or at least we haven't seen as many recently. We've
Go
seen a
Pro,
few.
go! No, Pro!
Man down.
So close. Soccer's coming out, but it's got another 25 seconds, so he is actually going to have to pull this Zealot off the line for a little while. Smart by Sheth to send one unit back and prevent that Zealot from making its way out for so long. Then runs by with the Lings. Very nice play.
No.
Sheth is going to have a perfect pickup. He does actually see the Twilight Council researching, so maybe he'll be tricked into thinking that this isn't going to be anything out of the ordinary. I would still assume that WhiteRa is going to cancel and put up a Dark Shrine, but yeah, and there's the cancel. Okay.
This is just such a weird build. I mean, Sheth's going to know. He's going to be prepared for DTs. There's no question about it.
Pylon at the back. What does he have? Evolution Chamber's already on the way, so he's going to have
Sheth is going to be
spore
100%
crawlers.
prepared. You have to prepare. He's seen
And
the
third
Twilight. Him canceling Blink there and throwing up a Dark Shrine. You're not fooling anybody.
Sure.
I mean, you have to prepare either way for the DTs. I mean, that's just a fact. If you don't, you can lose. He's going to be ready for it. I think he's going to hold it off relatively easily, and I think WhiteRa is going to be pretty far behind. Sheth's on his third base here. He's getting rid of that proxy pylon.
Yeah, and
no position to warp in those DTs.
Ton of Lings coming up. Spore Crawler at the front. He's going to be well defended against those. No Roach Warren yet, but I assume that it's going to... Well, actually, there's +1 melee attacks. Looks like he just wants to guard himself against the DTs and then move into something else after. Excuse me, after that, we may see Layer Tech here in a bit.
I don't know if he can safely take that third right now. I mean, it just seems a little bit risky to me on WhiteRa's part. He doesn't have enough units to protect that. Once speed finishes here and once enough Lings get out on the field, you know, Sheth could just kill WhiteRa's third at will.
Yeah.
Should he want to.
Let's actually see. Yeah, and WhiteRa does not have a pylon down to the bottom left. Taking a look at his vision now. First two DTs are coming out, and they may be able to snag a few Zergling kills, but they're going to slip on by. Does he have
I
any
think he's
knowledge?
Going to lose his third here.
Yeah. Oh, there's no way he can hold it. I mean, his gateways are only now coming up, unless he can hold this purely with DTs, which, while they have a huge DPS output, it's not like they attack very fast. Oh, but it looks like he may get the Spore Crawler.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's actually pretty bad for Sheth because I'll trade a base for a base. Although he actually hasn't taken out the third from WhiteRa. He decided to run away.
WhiteRa working on the hatchery now. I don't think he's going to get it, though. The hatchery's down to about half. And, oh, they're still in detection range. Wait, not anymore. Wait.
Okay, all right. So WhiteRa gets away. The bases haven't gone down. Hatchery is still remaining. So is the third for WhiteRa. This is kind of a ridiculously crazy game.
Here, sorry, I unplugged my headphones.
Nope, that happens.
There we go.
Aha! Huzzah!
What is
sound.
StarCraft without sound?
I know.
Gotta hear all those cool little...
Okay, I heard something morphing. I was like, he doesn't have the Baneling Nest. Overseer Cocoon, pretty obvious response right now. As Lair Tech did just finish up. Macro Hatch coming down. At the same time, we see a nice, good old-fashioned Roach Warren coming up. So, Sheth going back to his tried and true strategy. But, we'll say, WhiteRa's actually got his third up now, and through crazy, weird combination of events, is holding on to it for the time being.
Yeah, I mean... I still think he's considerably behind. He did no damage.
I agree with you, yeah.
He did no damage with the DTs. He invested a lot into the DT opener.
Yeah.
Amazed he was able to hold on to his third. I think that was a pretty big mistake on Sheth's part by not actually hitting the third.
Yeah, because
I still think he could if he just produced a ton of Lings and Roaches off of his three bases and then went in there with the Overseer.
Yeah.
There's really not a lot WhiteRa could do to hold on there. I mean,
sure.
We'll see if he does that. We have 7 Roaches
Warp
here.
Prism.
Speed. Yeah, Special Tactics Warp Prism is on the way, and we've seen a lot of that out of WhiteRa recently.
And Robo Bay is normally you'd be like, oh yeah, closest coming up now. No, with WhiteRa it could just as easily be Warp Prism Speed. So we'll hold on, reserve our judgment until we see what comes up. Second Robo on the way though, and this Overseer being the Union Foreman and making sure that the destruction of those destructible rocks goes down gives them a reward in the form of 2 changelings. And those zealots are going to be running the wrong way. I imagine WhiteRa will pick up on that in a bit, but maybe not.
Sheth's being sneaky with those zealots.
Sneaky.
Now sending them in.
Yes.
Should probably stop moving. There we go.
Yes.
Oh.
Bam bam. Okay.
WhiteRa's like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. DT drop incoming, but Sheth should be well aware of this. It ran right past the Overlord that was sitting up there. We have another 10 Roaches being produced, so there's actually a huge contingent of units on the field at the 12.5-minute mark. The only thing holding Sheth back from being maxed, really, is the fact that he's supply blocked.
Well, that's never good. It's 160, 160 right now.
We'll alleviate that in a second, though. Shouldn't be too big of a problem.
We got to see how much damage this Warp Prism drop can do for WhiteRa if he hits the hatchery.
We're going to have to watch 2 things at the same time because Zerglings are starting to run in, and the DTs are dropping, and a ton of units are getting killed. There's no detection over here. He could actually snipe the Roach Warren as well. However, the Roaches are making their way through the front.
Oh, he needs to be careful with that Colossus.
Pull back with the Colossus. Don't run it up again.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow. I can't actually believe that that's still alive right now. This Immortal doing quite a bit of work. More units are being warped in at the same time. You have a lot of Dark Templar making their way in. Warp Prism doesn't look like it's gone after too much else, and this hatchery and lair may fall. The Roaches are continuing to punish the front. This Colossus taking a lot of damage, finally goes down, but WhiteRa has actually done a pretty decent job of holding off the first round of units, but it doesn't matter. He GG's. He can't produce anything else, and that is game. So Sheth goes up 3-1.
If he hadn't if he hadn't lost that Colossus, if it hadn't gone so low, it would have been firing throughout that entire fight. He could have been assisting the whole time. I think he might have been able to hold on there.
Oh, wow. So, as it stands, though, Sheth goes up yet another game. Congratulations to him. He is up 3-1 and only 2 games away from that $500 prize.